So the first concept I want to talk about is how to adjust your itinerary filters. Again, this might be a reminder, but the default setting is 6 months from today's date. So for those of us so I'm in America, it's going to be for me September 1 to March 1 of 2021. So let's say you are creating an itinerary and it was for next summer and somehow it just disappeared. Chances are, if it disappeared, possibly it's after that default view. So you'll just want to adjust accordingly. Filter by months. You can filter 3 months, 9 months. I'm going to click on that box. So just seeing itineraries that are further in the future. And then you can also filter. So to kind of uncheck that, you just click that box again. So if I want to look over it like a year out, I can just simply click that 12 plus button to view itineraries that are a year out, even 2022 or 2023. Keep in mind that it does limit you till about 200 itineraries. So you might, if there's a little thing that pops up, it's maybe because what you're trying to look at is just too large. There's too many itineraries. So let's say we selected that 12 plus filter. You want to continue to see that view. So you would check the box next to hold filter. And then just to kind of test it out, I'm going to go to another tab. I'm going to go back to itineraries. And the itinerary should still be in that 12-month filter. And then just check the box to revert back to what you had. You can always filter with specific start and end dates. And then click that apply filter button. So maybe you're continuously working on trips for next summer and you want to stay in that same time frame. So similarly, you're going to just check that box, hold filter. I'm going to go to another tab, come back, and it's kept that for me. So I can work on that specific time frame. You can always use the search box by searching for a title, a word that's in one of your titles. So if I just search for London, and then I find all my itineraries that have London in them. And then if I just want to remove that, I'm just going to simply click clear. If I want to find an archived itinerary from 2019, I'm going to go to archived. And then once I do that, I need to go back a little further, obviously. So I'm going to change my start and filter dates. 2-digit month, 2-digit day, 4-digit year. Apply filter. And there are my itineraries. Let's say I deleted an itinerary and there's some information in it that I could use for an upcoming trip. Let's say I knew the month that it was in from that year. So I'm going to go over to restore. These are any itineraries that I've deleted. They're now in restore. And I want to narrow down my search. To all of January. And there I'm able to find that trip. I can even go back further if I'd like. Say there was a trip from July 2017. I can search the second half of 2017 if I'd like by filter. Let's see. Making sure I'm back in restore. And there's the itinerary that would have been deleted at 2017. All right, the next one I want to look at is traveler. So I'm going to go, I can filter by traveler. I'm going to go to travelers at the top menu. I'm going to search for a specific person, first letter of last name. So James. And I'm going to find that person, go to the corresponding 3 dots on the far right, and I'm going to click view itineraries. So these are itineraries for that specific traveler. I can click archive to view itineraries that were in the past. She's obviously returned. I can also change that start date and go further if I want to search. So that could be pretty helpful. Next, if you're in an organization with other advisors, I'm going to click advisors top menu. You can view itineraries for a specific advisor, find that person, click view itineraries. And this is a coming up trip. I can go to archived, find a past trip that advisor was a part of, and then I can go back to current. And if I want, I can go into the future and just click that 12 plus button. Just to kind of help you maneuver around there. The next feature I want to talk about is the font size feature. So travel advisors can select a font size for every itinerary. The font size increase will show up on the web view and PDF of the itinerary. So travelers can select a font size when they receive the web view link. The default size is 12 point. The font size increases to 18 point. So let's say I'm on my main itineraries page. I want to go to my profile in the top right corner. So you can set the font size for all itineraries in your account. So I'm inside my profile. I'm going down to settings. And then here I can select my preferred font size and preview it. So that's the default, it's 12. I can choose 14 and even 18, makes it quite large. So I'm going to keep it at default for now. And then once I've selected what I want, I'm just going to go to save below. You can also edit the actual itinerary. So once I've got my itinerary here in the title box, I'm going to click the gear icon to edit the itinerary. I'm going to go to font size for web view and PDF view, and I'll pick 15. And then when I'm done, I'm going to hit save itinerary. Let's take a look at what it looks like on the web view. So it is a little bit larger on the web view. Helps people if they just need to see things a little more clearly. The nice thing too is when travelers receive the web view link to their itinerary, so as soon as you publish the app, the travelers that you've attached to the itinerary, they're going to be sent an invite to download the app. So including their app credentials will be that web view link. So once they click on that web view link, they can go to the right side of the page And they can not only choose a PDF with images, without images, compact, they can also pick their font size, and then they can generate their own PDF. So it's nice in that they can actually do that step for you. So it's one less thing that you have to do at the very end. Moving on to the next concept. Let's talk about the drag and drop capabilities in the documents and guides sections. So on documents, I'm going to just upload to my itinerary. So I'm going to do before you leave. And also do like a what to bring. Add a packing list. And then I'll do a hotel and transportation information. So I'm uploading these to my document section of the app. And obviously, as you know, your clients will be able to pull these up on the app on their side. But what's great is that if you'd like these in a certain order, you can absolutely do that by dragging and dropping them, just kind of how you would want them to appear. So maybe before you leave your house goes at the top, and then just dragging and dropping. So what to bring goes underneath. You got your packing list, maybe that's at the very, very top. And you've got your transportation, just moving it just again, just to your liking, and then your hotel. Let's say you want to edit the name of your hotel, just click that gear icon and you could add, if you just want it to be more specific or add more detail, you can absolutely do that and edit your title. Let's say, pretend this is actually not a car rental confirmation, but instead it's just transfer information. You can absolutely put that, you can change that display name, transfer confirmation, save. So you can move these around and edit them, the display name to your liking. Moving on to the guides. So I've already loaded some guides to the app. So I'm going to go and click import, and I'm going to add 2 more. These are destination guides from Travel 42. Maybe you've not booked all these places for the people, but you're just giving them all the information kind of right at their fingertips. Should they want to extend or they have an extra day somewhere, they could quickly just use that resource and view this information on their app. Also, if you have any questions, please feel free to find the chat section. If you are thinking of a question right now, feel free to find that chat box and write that, and I will take a look at those questions. So I'm going to add 1 more guide. Right, and then just hit submit. So if you'll notice here, once you've kind of added all these, it puts it in alphabetically. Maybe you want to put in the order of the trip, where the travelers are going first, if maybe they're going to all these places. So literally just like the document section, I'm going to drag and drop. Right, and once I have them in the order I'd like, I can actually click that gear icon as well. Just ignore this thing down here, but maybe I want to say even though, I mean, I could obviously choose the order of how I'd want them to take a look at it, but if I wanted to make it maybe really obvious, I could just say, check out this guide first, Paris, France. And I could also, if I wanted, I could add an image. This is asked before. Sometimes this will be filled. This is powered by Pixabay, so it's kind of who gets the credit of where the image belongs, where it belongs. So don't worry about this. If you're like using our image library, it's going to sometimes add, you know, an attribution link. And I'm just going to hit save. And maybe I just want to add one more. And save. So keep in mind that your travelers will be able to see these guides, all this content on their app. You can absolutely add yourself as traveler with your unique app credentials that are different from your website login. Your website login is totally different, but through your app credentials, you could absolutely view the guide content as well if you wanted to take a look. All right, and moving on to our last concept. This is adding terms and conditions to your itinerary. So I'm going to head over to the booking section. So because of this global pandemic, countries have mandatory guidelines in place, and it's crucial that travelers have proper documentation. So it definitely would be helpful to have terms and conditions and any important paperwork in digital form on the AXUS Travel app. So what you could do is create an other/notes booking in pre-travel. We've already got our passport validity reminder here. So I'm going to just insert new above, go to other/notes, title it terms and conditions. Anything else more, if you want to get more specific, you absolutely could do that. And then in the note section below, I'm just going to add content or hyperlink to a signed terms and conditions document. So let's say if you have the link, so like click here for signed terms doc, and I'm just going to highlight the word here, just like you're doing a hyperlink, remove the word here. I'm just going to put there. So pretend you've got like a hyperlink. So you could absolutely add that hyperlink to the notes section, just letting them know it's right there. And again, just this is that first booking that they'll see. We could also, so just to show you the web view, so just be right at the very top. If you wanted to make it stand out, like with that passport validity reminder, you could absolutely do that. So you just go into that booking and just make it a high priority. So if I reload the page, it's going to just add that gray background and the branding on the left to just kind of make it pop out and say, hey, this is pretty important. You need to take a look. The other thing you could do is you could just simply have a title in there, nothing even below, that just says, reminder, go to document section in app for signed terms and conditions, and just hit save. And that's something that they could just prompt them to go to the document section where you've uploaded that signed document. All right, I'm going to take a look at any questions you might have. I'm just going to go back to this page, and that's where it would be. And you could also, if you wanted, you could also make it stand out and make it a high priority booking if you'd like. Okay, taking a look at any questions. So, Jim, if you need me to specifically take a look at your profile, I can definitely do that. I'm going to try to answer it generally right now, but if you need more specifics, support AXUSTravelApp.com. Just send me something there and I can take a closer look. But you would just go, you'd have your booking section and just go at your bottom menu, right? So go down over to documents, then guides, and then you'll see an import button. And then you just start to type in a destination, so a city. So even if it's like New York, you gotta wait sometimes. It's a little slow sometimes. So you'd wait for that to pop up, and you could actually, in that same session, you could add several cities before hitting submit. So you could add a few different ones, and then you'd hit submit. And then a way to take a look at that would be to add yourself. Okay, awesome, good, glad you found it. Yeah, so a way to preview that would just be to go log in with your unique app credentials, and then view that on the app. Yeah. Any other questions? You would the way to view any of these guides would be to view them on the actual app. So you would make sure you've added at least one traveler and at least one booking. Then you'd hit publish, and that's going to trigger an invite. If you want to check this out before you send it to your client, you would just add yourself as traveler. If you already exist, you would look for yourself in the assign, and then you would add that person if you already exist. If you've never created a profile for yourself, you'd go add travelers, go over to create, add your first name, last name, email, save, and then go back and click on your box. It triggers an email invite, and you use your unique app credentials. You download the app from the App Store, and then you use these unique app credentials to view the app. And I do have, let's see, support. A video on how to do it, or at least it's here. This is once like the app, you're receiving that app invite. Welcome to your AXUS Travel app. So if you have an Android, you'd go to the Google Play Store. If you had an iPhone, you'd go to your App Store. But yeah, any other questions, you can obviously send me an email, support@axustravelapp.com, or you can also check out our support library. All right, any other questions? Yes, good. Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining me today. Hope you stay safe and healthy, and we look forward to talking with you again. Thank you.